Hi guys, I'm Patrick Noll. They are like threatened in the way that people hack them down every year.
Yeah.
Like they're threatened in the way that they will not expand further because people pick the seeds. Like people take them down and keep them. Like a lot of the seeds do not end up like in the nearby area, which is a problem, in itself. But these are so common plants for the natives that this is not a concern for them. And yeah, but they are not threatened. A lot of cacti are threatened also in Peru. Like I said, Hageocereus, like these are they're relatively close to Trichocereus. They are threatened almost everywhere. Like every site, especially since this is a genus where you have like little species that only exist in one place and nowhere else, and they keep vanishing in an alarming speed. Probably also because of landscaping. Like they are full of trash. People just build stuff on top of that. But yeah, like I wouldn't worry about like Pachanoi or Peruvianus just because they are so common. Because people like to have them close. Like, but you constantly see big plants being cut back. Constantly, like that large plant in Chavin.
Yeah, I saw those
Chavin.
photos recently. Yeah.
Every 2 years you see a new one where they have cut it back, and it's just sad because this was such an impressive plant. This was
Huge.
huge. And yeah, it's not directly threatening, but at some point, like maybe in 100 years, you will lose some of these plants because they no longer like spread the seeds in the nearby area, like 100 meters around it. And yeah, at some point they will become less and less unless they do something. I mean, right now there's a lot of progress made, like especially with like poaching and in habitat and stuff like this. And I suspect this is a thing that will be solved in the future. But for many cacti, especially the rarer ones, it will be too late. Like Hageocereus, I'm sure some of them will become extinct in the next 30, 40 years. And the same problem exists with Lophophora. You have a few very unique populations that we will lose. And like I'm sure at some point they can be reintroduced, like from like nursery grown specimens, but the original wild populations of many plants will be lost. It's mostly due to landscaping. It's not. I mean, you have a huge problem with poaching on Lophophora, but aside from this, and maybe Ariocarpus and these classic species, most of the other cacti are like become extinct because they are not valued. Like, seen some photos full of trash and it breaks my heart.
Yeah, it's sad, right? There's the debate over what to do around threatened peyote. And it's like people saying that they shouldn't be replanting efforts, like we shouldn't interfere
Yeah,
with the original
I mean,
population.
what else can they do? Like, I mean, what's the alternative? If
Mm,
the alternative is that the plant just becomes extinct, then it's not an alternative. Because you have like these populations, like when you make sure you pick the right specimen to reintroduce, and you make sure that they survive for like 100 years, then you can get this thing going again. I mean, um, you need to do a lot more for protection in habitat. Like it's the same with all these amazing animals that get lost, that get slaughtered, like elephants and everything. You need to treat poachers like with the harshest penalties that you have. And unless that happens, nothing will change. Nothing will change. You can reintroduce them, but you need to like guard these populations. You need to make sure they are not picked up again like 2 years later. And I don't think it makes sense unless you have a plan to keep them alive long term.